So timestamps should be in the description below, or in the chapter system on this platform. I'm just going to be translating this based on my rough translation notes as we get into basically the second installment in this series. Obviously I have saved files because I've been trying to get through it, but without further ado, let's just hop in as fast as possible. And I'll try to translate. Before this, the game gives you a warning that basically says this game contains jump scares, and you can turn them off and on, and I don't really know the effect because I haven't played with the settings, but I don't think I'll get to it this video because this is supposed to be more a one-off. But here, it's asking you if you want to customize your protagonist, and the extent to which you want to customize them. So this is basically the recommended change everything, and this is change the protagonist in terms of what they look like, gender, I think occupation as well, but stat parameters are determined by dice. Here we'll just do the full customization. That way I can at least show anyone who's interested what it looks like. So again, this is all going to be rough translations, the standard things here. If you don't completely know, basically this here is your gender. If you don't know any Japanese, here you're selecting your gender. Do you want to be a woman, man? Yes, no, as I move up and down. Those with some level of Japanese know that this is going to be a rough translation, so I might get a lot of details wrong. So put in the full name. I'm just going to set it to what I have. I named her Airi. Sato, kind of free name. And here is the big meat of the issue, and why I'm probably inserting timestamps into this video. But yeah, so unlike Miasma C, Crimson Legend which is what I'm calling this one. Yeah, it's not the official translation, but here in Crimson Legend, you can start with your occupation. Your occupation gives you parameter stat bonuses, along with skill bonuses. If you take certain skills, then the cost is reduced, which you can do at the beginning of the game. So going down as I look at my notes over here, this is Freeder or Freelancer is how I'm translating it. Again, one last time, these are all rough translations, so I'll give notes here and there. You get 12 points to spend for free for your parameters, but you don't really have any discounts on your parameter and bonus. I don't have my mouse, so there's no way for me to point out to you. But basically at the top, it says 12p, that's 12 points. Right under that, it says parameter bonus, none, nashi. And then skill bonus, none. So that's Freelancer, but you get the free, you get to freely build. You have more points than, say, the rest of these occupations. Here is office worker, 8 points for free. Let me see here. What did I say? I can't remember exactly. Constitution +1, agility +1, and mind +2. I think from left to right, up to down. Skill bonuses, you get bonus to taking search. I'm going to call that one deceive. It's also called lie when you translate it, but I'm going to say deceive just for the sake of skills. And thinking of Cthulhu RPG, then persuasion, which, like this, similar to deceive, I'll get into the effects later. Trust, psychology, and driving, which is a new skill you can pick, unlike Miasma C. You can't drive in the mansion. Here, driving does have some use. I might talk about it, and if I forget, you can ask in the comment section, and I will let you know. Noka, farmer, I believe. Here you get +2 to strength, +2 to constitution, +2 to mind, and you get skill bonuses to taking first aid, or repair, or pharmaceutics, or biology, then cooking, then driving as well. Next we have creator. I personally would literally translate this to creator. You could also say developer, I think, is how it's translated. Again, let me know if I made something wrong. That's just my side notes. But you get +1 to dexterity, +2 to intelligence, +2 to mind, and +1 to education. Did I say +2 to dexterity? I meant to say +1 to dexterity. You can see it on screen. There are numbers on screen, and everything's in hiragana, which is something I might touch on as well. Your skill bonuses are to search, persuasion, psychology, sense, investigate, computer, biology, and occult. A lot of the first half of those skills that I said, persuasion, psychology, sense, investigate, are more for, well, sense is something I think it's, is it search? Anyway, there are a lot of dialogue or very meta mental perks. That's because there's a new mechanic that's introduced that I probably won't get to as well, because I just want to give you a preview as to what is in this game. Next we have engineer, 6 points, +1 strength, +2 to size. Miasma C called it size, so I'm going to call the stat size here as well. +1 to dexterity, +1 to mind, intelligence, and +1 to mind. Your skills are search, lockpicking, repair, sense, investigate, computer, driving. Next is this is engineer. The first one was this one was doctor. I'm sorry. This is doctor, +2 to intelligence, +2 to mind, +2 to intelligence. And first aid, mental care, persuasion, trust, psychology, medicine, pharmaceutics, investigate, and biology. If you played Miasma C, you'll be familiar with some of the skills I said. They work the same, and of course there are new skills as well. This is engineer. +1 to strength, +2 to size, +1 to dexterity, +1 to intelligence, +1 to mind. I need to repeat it because I don't think I said the right skills. The skills are search, lockpicking, repair, sense, investigate, computer, and driving. This is going to be a very intensive thing. Next is talent, or if you want to also say idle, it literally says talent in katakana. You get +1 to constitution, +1 to dexterity, +4 to mind, and then your skills are tiptoe, deceive, persuasion, trust, psychology, sense, and hide. It seems like if you have to work with the public in any sense, you get the psychology perk, because, why not? Next is sports sensu, or sports player / athlete, if you want to cut down the number of characters you have to work with. 4 free points, but you get +2 to strength, +2 to constitution, +2 to dexterity, and +2 to mind with the skills first aid, jump, climb, swim, martial arts, throw, and firearms. A lot of athlete-centered perks, quote-unquote, but mostly physical perks. Again, jump, climb, swim are, as you'd expect from Miasma C. Martial arts, I think, as well, but then you have, those are all Miasma C perks. Anyway, journalist literally says journalist, so you could probably cut that down, but 6 free points, size +1, dexterity +2, intelligence +1, mind +2, with the skill discounts on search, tiptoe, deceive, psychology, sense, investigate, navigate, and hide. Again, I think I translated this all like weeks ago, so I'm working with rough notes. Next is Keisatsukan, police, with 6 free points, strength +1, constitution +1, dexterity +1, intelligence +1, mind +1, and education +1. Skill discounts are in search, deceive, persuasion, trust, psychology, sense, navigate, martial artist, firearms, and driving. And last is JA-Kun, which doesn't have a English equivalent if you were to try to work with certain translations, but it stands for the JSDF, Japanese Security Defense Force. Oh my god, I flubbed that so bad. Anywho, 4 free points, strength +2, constitution +2, dexterity +2, intelligence +2, and mind +2, with skill discounts in first aid, tiptoe, repair, persuasion, trust, sense, hide, martial arts, firearms, and driving. Did I say martial arts? Anywho, but yeah, we'll take just office worker for now, why not? And there was something I wanted to say and I subsequently forgot. Since I'm not going to spend too much time here, aside from explaining some of the parameters, I think one of them is new, but let's be sure. But if you played Miasma C, these are all pretty much the same strength. The stats affect a multitude of things, but if I were to say off the top of my head, strength is obviously for damage, but also kind of affects your carry limit. I think this is constitution, affects your HP, the amount of items you can hold, carry limit as well, and how much damage you take, but I don't know the exact numbers on it. Things like that. Again, I'll skim past these. Size is another form of strength and constitution, except it weighs more heavily on, I think, recovery, item usage, things like that, or a carry limit as well. Basically, you have 3 stats that are kind of the same, but obviously they do very different things. I think constitution is resistance to status ailments, and size is more the carry limit. Again, if I were to move the stats, you can kind of see the how it affects your stats. And you can kind of make your own guess. There are other effects as well. I don't think I have the notes down, otherwise I would have said so. But moving on, dexterity affects what you would expect it to affect. Evasion rate, I think maybe even accuracy rate as well. I didn't translate this part completely. And also evasion and escape rate. So intelligence does the same as it did in Miasma C as well. Increases allows you, along with the requirements that might be in-game, barely increases MP, but also affects your skill points. and I think something else as well. I can't remember. Seishin Mind, which is the exact direct booster to sanity, along with MP, but doesn't really affect your skill points as much to spend on skills. And then Education, which now also has the effect of not just skill points like in Miasma C, but affects your information gathering success rate, which is something new that the developer introduced in Crimson Legend, and I think the third game as well. But for now, we're just going to go full strength. Again, I'm not going to get too far into this because there might be quite a bit that I do not eventually get to. So we're going to just take the recommended here, and we can take another one here. I'll take Jump, why not? I don't know how useful it is. I haven't played the whole game, but I've gotten to certain subsections, let's just say. And I think got past the tutorial, but here, again, I'm only going to show you pretty much 20 to 30 minutes, depending, because I'm also going to be translating on the side. Oh, also, I didn't go over the skills. Well, but for the most part, the new ones are all about, as I let this rock here, it's telling you the backstory. I need to get to that as well, but just to say really quickly, a lot of the skills like Deceive, Persuasion, Psychology affect the effects of trying to gather information. Later on in this game, you'll be able to basically talk to NPCs, and you have success rates based on gaining information that'll allow you to progress, or learn certain pieces of information that will affect your gameplay. Anywho, that's my quick skim of it. Sorry if I moved past it. I should actually make a formal video, but basically the backstory was, in this village, your sister went to, your sister's in college, went on a vacation, or went to this village for some reason, insert horror reason, had some trouble, and now you lost contact with your sister. So now here you are with your best friend. Took 2 hours, even though, it wasn't too great, but yeah, we're here. Sorry for being such a trouble is basically what I'm saying to Yuya, who is the first player character that you're introduced. But yeah, I don't even know the town name exactly. I might be pronounced differently because everything's in, well, actually, since everything's in hiragana, I know the pronunciation. I want to say Ame Furimura. So it literally just says at the top here, in the H prefecture of Y City. There is basically a lot of backstory. I think it's talking about how the town went through this village went through a period of drought. They basically did a ritual, and yeah, they're good harvest seasons finally. Something along that line. There's a lot of famine. Something about maiden. That's really, again, it's a really rough translation, but the important part is that you're looking for your sister in this village that has some amount of history and a very, what seems to be brutal ritual, because they had to sacrifice a maiden to avoid famine. So here Yuya's telling me to get a better phone, because I'm still using a flip phone apparently. Flip phone? It's 2012, so I don't know. At that time, I don't think I still didn't have a flip phone at that time. But enough about me. Again, Yuya is just yelling at me to change my phone to a smartphone. That way we could use Goggle Maps and Amazon. But as we reach the village, we're gonna go to the guest house Amayadori, I want to call it. And yeah, we'll see. Yeah, so right there, Yuya just said, "Hey, yo, Amazon probably wouldn't be able to ship here because it's so far out." But if I talk to some of these people, basically they're gonna give me some. They're going to give me some backstory into what's happening around the village. That some certain spooky sounds here and there, but hey, our village town has a deep history, and here is where you want to go. Ame Furidori. This is the place. So Minshuku Amayadori, guest inn, I want to say, if I'm correct at all. But yeah, so here we are, moving in. We just need to find a place to rest because it's been a long trip here. Welcome. What are you here for, basically? Not really, it was just a big welcome, actually. Oh, do you want a room here? Yes. So let's go to our room. Now, basically the normal things you'd expect. But again, for those who don't know Japanese at all, I'm giving you a very rough translation, and not an exact translation with details at all. We're being shown to our room here in this inn, so that we can rest from our time traveling, and the innkeeper will also give us the key. Are you okay? I think this is the same thing, but I want to be in a room with Yuya. If you get another one, just get another one. What are you talking about? So there are also very specific lines for being male and female as well, but yeah, I'll just take the regular default of just being in this room. Not really much else to it, but I'm gonna try to also speed through, because again, this is mostly kind of normal stuff. That said, I should also just write over this. And yeah, I have a, as you note, if you see there, last time I played it was in August, I want to say that was. So here we're gonna talk to Yuya and head out. Let's go. So Ageha, who I named my little sister, we're going to be looking for her in this village. That is our main protagonist whole point to coming here. So let's take a look around and let's find out what we can find out. Although, you don't have to talk around. I think you can just immediately go places. So, yeah, there's a forest to our left, or to the west, I think. And the innkeeper reminds us that, do we know of the curse of this village? So, as I kind of go through this, because there's a lot to go through and a lot of formalities here, basically the curse is that, because of the ritual, I think the sacrifice of the maiden, there's a specific curse that goes on where we're warned not to put out the lights in the, not to blow out the flames in the location we're about to go to, because it's a sacred place. If we blow out the flames, then we will be cursed with the, basically the Crimson Night, question mark? I don't know exactly what to call it. But as we go to the Saigijil, there's not an exact translation. I mean, I don't know how best to explain it. But we don't want to anger Tenyo-sama, basically, because then that allows the demons through, is what the legend, or the, what's the word I want to use? The myth, the legend, I guess is to say. So we're gonna be careful of that as we go to the location that the innkeeper told us to go to. And we're a little creeped out, but you know, for right now, we're still human beings that are skeptical of the supernatural at this point. So, yeah, we're wondering where Ageha is. We're wondering where our little sister is, but we run into another player character. Hey, it's Tachibana Karen, or Karen for short, who is another player character that we can pick to accompany us later on, and we're gonna ask for her signature. Sign! But Yuya's too afraid, so we're gonna go together so that we don't freak people out. Karen's sitting here wondering where her manager went. But, yeah, we're wondering who she is, and we're basically being introduced to her. Karen specifically is a talent, or, well, I don't want to say idol exactly. She's basically a celebrity, of some sort, which is why Yuya is so excited, and depending on what you answer, the player character can be enthused, or kind of just more straight man, but, give me... I won't translate this part, but, anywho, we're just joking around for now, but here we get a text message on our phone that it just seems to be a really, really strange thing, as we get from our sister, whose email address is Kareage-chan, daisuki, love kareage, or fried chicken, question mark? I think that is the translation. And there are some words you can pick out here, but for the most part, it's kind of garbled text. And with a lot of emotes as well, but some of it is kind of jarbled, which is why Yuya goes, well, with emotes as well, which is why Yuya goes, wow, there's a lot in this mail, and there's an attachment as well, but we don't really get a lot from this attachment, because that's the only sound that comes out of the phone from the attachment that's, I think, attached to the mail. And a little jingle there, but, we get that to look in our files if you want to look at it again. Yuya's asking what that sound or the song or the melody was, but we don't know at this point. So, yeah, we're gonna hope that as Yuya proceeds to badmouth our phone one more time, that we're gonna focus on looking for her sister. Karen's also looking. Karen's also now interested in what we're here for, but yeah, we're gonna hopefully find our sister and leave as quickly as possible within the day. That's not gonna happen, so we're gonna be stuck here for a while. So, yeah, again, Yuya is explaining what we're here for. We're here to look for our younger sister. Karen's here for apparently a photo shoot, question mark? But, which is what the katakana loke is kind of short for, if I remember translating it. A location shoot, or where if they're not here for a photo shoot, it's they're scouting the area to see if it's a good place to shoot for Karen to model or do whatever she does. But here Karen starts getting really interested in the crimson legend of this village, and she kind of freaks Yuya out and apologizes for kind of going off on talking about the occult because she's really interested in. But Yuya explains he sympathizes because when people talk about video games around him, he kind of explains that he kind of gets really excited and starts talking about it as well. As a programmer, I think is his occupation. So we kind of wait here for a while, and nothing really happens. So it just gets dark as we're waiting here. So we're all wondering if we should return for the day because we didn't really get anything done. But it's kind of sad that we didn't get to see anyone. So Yuya offers for everyone to return at the same time, and we're introduced to the last two characters of our well, at the very beginning anyway, as Kusakabe-san and question mark forgetting her name. I'm so sorry at the moment, but the important part is we're going to be introduced to a very beginning of the line dislikable man, and who are basically a journalist and his question mark journalist and his assistant, who has come here to look into the legend, or at least look for a scoop, basically. So yeah, we're looking for. He's asking to get the camera because he sees Karen, who is a celebrity, obviously. But his assistant explains that forgot the camera, and he's yelling at her, "Hey, I thought you're a pro. I thought we were pros. Why did you forget the camera?" And basically giving her verbal abuse. But anywho, now instead, because he's so angry, he's asking for a smoke. Because apparently his assistant is carrying everything that they need to survive, but she also forgets that as well, and now he's really sad. I mean, he has cigarettes, but he doesn't have a light. So instead, when he finally notices Karen standing here, he starts hassling her. Hassling her? Question mark. She explains that she's here for a photo shoot, or location scouting, whatever you want to say. But he's actually gonna start getting really personal, saying if she's not here for a secret rendezvous with, say, a boyfriend, or if she's here because of an affair that she's taking care of because he's desperate for a scoop. And Tachibana kind of, comes up with his own ideas. And as we try to interrupt right there, saying that he's kind of rude, he tells us, hey, we're just normal people, we're just outsiders, what the heck are you getting into our business for? Anywho, his assistant promptly apologizes for his rash behavior. But, yeah, now he's looking for an actual light for his cigarette because he's now very frustrated and proceeds to call her useless again. So, yeah, she forgot the lighter again, so instead, Kusakabe goes to one of these torches, and decides to light his cigarette here. His assistant promptly proceeds to warn him about the Crimson Legend, and he's like, you really believe in that stuff, idiot? And proceeds to light his cigarette. And for some reason, the light does go out. So, yeah, that's not great. So now we're all kind of worried a bit, even though we don't believe yet, but we're just making sure that we're not being rude to the village here, and Kusakabe-san doesn't really care. He's just gonna be Kusakabe-san. But as all the sounds die out around us, that's our first sign that something's not going right. The wind stops, and the sky turns crimson, so tint red. And Karen, aside from everyone else, Kusakabe, who doesn't care, Karen is now so excited about this supernatural stuff. And Kusakabe-san, being the optimist that he is, goes, wow, this is a scoop. I didn't know this really happens. But, yeah, they're just having a back and forth. his assistant telling him to be careful, and him basically telling her to shut up, to be a direct of terms. So hey, if she's like, isn't it dangerous? He's like, well, if something weird like this happens, this is pretty much the scoop we've been looking for. So you gotta take things where they come, basically is what he's saying. Unfortunately, we run into another character that we're introduced to being attacked by basically monsters. And he actually gets injured here. So we all are witness to this fact as Kusakabe stands back and goes, I'm not getting into that. He's gonna stand back and watch. I know he ran forward, but really he's just standing right there. And we're going to go try to help this guy out. I'll help you right now. Yes, and here you can just basically say Power Ranger / Common Rider / Ultraman quote and say that you've arrived. Again, you can be kind of goofy in this Cthulhu RPG series, but fortunately we received the help of Kaname, who seems to be a shrine maiden who's a pretty badass because she comes in and basically saves the day. She has 2 health pools on top of the 12 HP that she already has. And we can help her fight, but she's going to be doing most of the damage because she has a Naginata in her equipped on her. So yeah, if her 80 sanity and 36 overall HP didn't give it away. So as we finish this battle and get back to saving this guy, Kaname's gonna be here to tell us that it's dangerous right now because she pretty much knows what's going on to an extent, or maybe not to an extent. Maybe she knows what's going on, but we're all flabbergasted, and I'm gonna ask her to marry me. And she says, even though you're with a woman like you, ha ha, and she shuts me down. But for the most part, Kaname's gonna escort us to her house, ? I think that's what it's called, to explain what's going on. Again, a really rough chat, but I feel like I've gotten the important parts right. And yes, I am making vague generalities, but yeah. Again, you can be really goofy here. Anyone who knows Japanese knows what I just said as the main character, but yeah, we're all worried about the guy right now who just got injured. Again, I'm forgetting his name at the moment. I really should have I really should have done research beforehand. But we're now under the effect of what apparently is the Crimson Night, I think is how I'm translating it. Yeah, we're gonna be working on this phenomenon here. Although the MC and Yuya is afraid for my sister. So here I'm gonna make a dumb pun, and Yuya's gonna keep being the Tsukomi to my bouquet. But for the most part, we're here trying to figure out what's going on. There's not really much else that's being said because it's again a lot of formalities, as would be expected. But Kaname comes back to tell us that the guy is telling us thanks for kept you waiting, and we're gonna wonder what's going on as she kind of tells us our situation right now. So Akai Yoru, again, I'm translating as Crimson Night, but she tells us, this is kind of not where we should be. She's going to remind us of the basically the backstory of this village and how there was a famine and basically someone was sacrificed. And because of that, you have this legend being built up where essentially, again, like the innkeeper warned us, if you put out a light near the place where I guess the ritual happens, a curse befalls the village, and not just the village, but the people who involved, including Kusakabe-san, and by extent to the rest of us, which is not great. So even though we didn't put out the light, we're also going to be cursed as well, or we fall under the curse, or we're the reason why the curse happens. A whole bunch of stuff, but yeah, all those stone lanterns are there to help with the what we now know to be confirmed as part of the village's customs, and breaking them means that we're now under the effect of the Crimson Night, and we need to survive now. So it's been this way for about 88 years, I think it's just what she said, and Karen's still excited to listen to more of the occult, but Kusakabe is trying to tell us, actually somewhat practically, what we can do, because we're just human beings, and what goes on here. And Yuya is just freaked out as always. So, yeah, as to be expected, to survive here, we're gonna need some food because we didn't eat, apparently. So, someone needs to go out and get food, which they're gonna delegate to me because the MC, whether male or female, was the one who stepped out to help the guys. So they decided to delegate the leadership position to me. And shortly following will be me choosing my party members. We're asking why Kaname can't help us out here, but Kaname says I think she's tending to the guy who was injured, so... lovers. And Yuya's gonna keep correcting me where I'm wrong, but... we're gonna ask for Kaname's help and advice as we figure out how the heck we should survive this. Kaname tells us that if we can somehow survive until the daytime, everything will return to normal temporarily. I might be skipping things here and there, saying things that are in the next important scene, but yeah, for the most part, we're gonna be stuck here for a while. And gameplay-wise, you can go out and kind of explore for a moment. You are gated because they'll kind of pigeonhole you to places you need to go, but you can kind of, you can get some items and stuff and use certain skills to do stuff. Anywho, as Kaname was about to tell us the things we need to get out of this to basically make things right, someone's stomach growls, and yeah, to mention it, as I said earlier, we're now going to go looking for food, because otherwise we're going to starve. Technically, we have the whole night, but we want to make sure that we're not going to be stuck here hungry. So, Kusakabe asked that if there isn't any food around here. Kaname says probably not enough to feed everyone, basically. So we'll have to go out and we'd go pick out. Apparently there is a fruit or apple trees over to the west. So we're gonna go out there, but she warns us that they're gonna be monsters anyway. So yeah, we're gonna make sure that we gotta prepare ourselves. Gameplay-wise, I'll show you something that I didn't look into that I'll do really quick so that I can do things. So Yuya's arguing with Kusakabe. Kusakabe is trying to take the leadership position, but Yuya's telling him how responsible he was. So instead, again, as I said earlier, they're going to delegate leader to me because I was brave enough to help fight the monsters before Kaname arrived. So, yeah, here they're all agreeing, and yeah, you can basically just prepare for you can prepare for the rest of the game right now after you pick your party members. You can also do the same trick that you can do in Miasma C, where you basically pick up party members before you recruit them in full, and you make them drop all their items. So I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to go too far in the save file. Not that much has changed, but regardless, I think I'm just going to take Yuya and Karen just to be kind of the default. They'll tell you what you can do, and I could go over the skills real quickly. I'll go over Yuya and Karen's skills since I took them. But yeah, this is the party we're gonna go out with. We should be moderately okay. Yuya is pretty much your well, pretty much I want to say question mark. Well, I'll take another look. But I do know his skills are kind of useful. Or at least complement my own to some extent. So here we have our list of skills. You're at the top. Unless you change... well, hold on. So Yuya, on the other hand, has Search, First Aid. I don't know in this exact order. But again, to say here, I do know what he has. I think these are rough notes. Sense, Pharmaceutics, Investigate, Computer, and Biology. And Navigator. Navigate, which helps you run, escape. And then he has his own special effect here. I don't know if I... translated this part, but he has his own special effect, as characters did in Miasma C. And then here are Karen's skills: Mental Care, Deceive, Trust, Psychology, Swim, Occult, and Cooking. Which cooking is another small, well, not as small mechanic, but it's a mechanic you can use because of how this game's plot flow works. And of course, I have my room key and apparently a weapon, I think. No, that's healing. Yuya has a lights. Oh no, these are HP and sanity healing. Sanity healing, based on basically what you can see in English there. And then Karen has a flashlight, an adhesive plaster, and water. So again, there are a lot of items that are shared between Miasma Sea and Crimson Legend, but oh, we need to take the basket with us to collect fruit. And then we will go out in this Crimson Night and try to survive. That said, some people might be want to explore, but while you're in this area around Kaname's house or in Kaname's house, you can't be attacked. So you can move into the shed and pick up basically weapons for free. I didn't know that, so I was running around without any weapons pretty much, except what I picked up a lot later. But yeah. And here, there's basically, this is the tutorial file to tell you how to do things. If anyone knows Japanese, I'll leave these on for about a second or two, and then move over to the next screen in case you want to try to translate this yourself. But most of it is the same as in Crimson Legend: how to use skills, the basic controls, effects, being wary of game overs. And yeah, we'll move on. And then yeah, search here also has a bigger spread. I'm not going to take all these out. I shouldn't need all of them. I hope I didn't pick up arrows, actually. We'll give the Shinai to Karen, the Nogogiri to Yuya, which I think is a small knife. I can't remember. But we'll equip the Nata for ourselves. And we'll go out. Because, yeah, before this, I didn't have any weapons, so trying to fight things was pretty miserable. But, yeah, we'll go out here. We shouldn't die, and if I die, well, I guess that'll be the end. But I know where I'm going to end this video, so, yeah, we're gonna move on. So immediately, like all RPG horror games that start out this way, the enemies you fight aren't exactly the most threatening. Maybe you get a yokai or two here, but for the most part, they're pretty easy. Things like spiders, crows, things of that nature. You could go exploring around if you want to, just know you'll be attacked. And I don't know if it's free, you can freely do things, but here's the fruit that you need to look for. I can't remember what exactly they're called. Maybe I can see them, but as we protect them, now at least we have something to eat to wait out the Crimson Night, as Yuya and Karen get to talk flavor text among each other, which again, I think is something very important for a lot of RPGs or RPGs that are trying to be, short, quote-unquote, horror experiences. Having the characters kind of interact in this way, even though they might not be, sometimes it's not the most specific thing, is specific to, two characters, because that's a lot of permutations to go through as we get attacked by a big crow, I think is what it says. Is something important to the experience. Of course, if you're more into the gameplay, it might not matter as much. But also, the crow drops something, and I can pick up the fish that it had for some reason. But we'll move on. And yeah, fish is going to be an ingredient for cooking that I won't get into here. But we stop because we see something right here, and yeah, we're going to deal with this. So, It might be a yokai. It might be a yokai. And Karen's kind of excited for now, but as we know, we probably shouldn't trust anything. Anyway, it disappeared, so we should be alright to move back to Kaname's house as we move on and proceed to get chased for a moment here. So, yeah, they're going to tell us to run because now it seems dangerous for us. So here you might be kind of scrambling for a moment. Not sure where to go. You can, I think, talk to, I think you can talk to people. So they'll tell us to, so they're going to tell us to go to Kaname's house, ? And we'll follow that advice for now. But we'll realize that as the thing kind of appears, that there's something odd around Kaname's house. Maybe a barrier, maybe a fog, but for now, let's go, as we jokingly say to fight, that which is not going to be the case. They're going to tell us to go back to the guest inn to try to, because it's the only location we know, but really it's the hiding spot that we need. So, and yeah, if you don't find a place fast enough, eventually your pursuer will get faster and faster, and they'll catch up to you. So, we're going to go into the guest house here, snake our way back into our room, and try to find a hiding place. Because if we don't, we're gonna get caught. So let's use our room key to get on our room that's locked for some reason and hide in here. Don't find me. Question mark, don't find me? I mean, it's the tutorial pursuit, so you have to let me through, right? So, yeah, without further ado, yeah, that's, that was, we're all kind of freaked out by what we saw, basically. And so we're wondering if it's okay to move back to Kaname's house, which we will do shortly. But without further ado, I think that's where I'm going to stop for now, because otherwise it's going to be too much as we get into a fight with a spider rat. And I didn't stop where I was supposed to stop, but for now, if you watch this or want to see more of me trying to play Crimson Legend, then let me know in the comment section. If you have any questions or criticism about the translation I did or any corrections, please let me know, because still trying to improve that. But without further ado, that'll be in this video for now. I'll see you next time. Hope you're interested in the game.